was the one actually told me about doing my studies in Canada. It's actually French-Canadian. We're actually now in Quebec. We're in Quebec, Canada. I chose to come to Canada because of his recommendation.
Yes.
And one of your dreamers.
Yes. And you're a success. You went to the Olympics. You become good in role playing. And that's why I say, give me the kids, 7, 8, 9, 11 years old. These are the ones who are the dreamers.
Vice President of World Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine. So we are really lucky to have him. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm very lucky to have Dr. Michel Gagne with me. Do you know who is he? Let me tell you. He was my mental training consultant in sports psychology when I was a competitive athlete in Malaysia. So I have known him for more than 20 years. Can you believe that? Now we actually reunited in Canada. Right now, I got the chance to interview him to talk about his life and his work experiences as a mental training consultant. A brief bio about him. He is currently the certified counselor for International Society, I believe, International Society of Mental Training and Exercise, as well as the Vice President of World Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine. So we are really lucky to have him with us today, and let me pass this to him. Thank you so much for attending this interview, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you very much to make all that journey from where you come from in Ontario and to visit me here in my house in area. So, and it's good to remembering all these good times, because you don't realize I know you for more than 30 years.
Oh yeah, 30 years. Yeah.
Time has passed for you and for me.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry about it. Yes, actually more than 30 years. Yeah, more than 30 years. Yeah.
So a lot of good things have happened since. And I'm happy to see where you are right now. Happy to see your son with us and everything. So, very good.
Thank you so much. And as you can see, Dr. Michel Gagne, I would say from now on, Dr. Gagne, he is a very experienced sports psychology consultant or mental training consultant. And I would like to share with you how he helped me. So when I was an athlete, he always believed in me. He always believed in me. Thank you so much. If you want to do well in sports, you must have someone who really believes in you, who believes in you no matter what. Other people may think that you are not good, you are bad, you are weak, you are small, you are short, or you are fat, for example. But he is the one who always gave me support when I felt doubt, when I felt that I was too fat in my sports, and when I felt that I was too short in my Taekwondo competition. As you know that I was in heavyweight. Heavyweight, I always faced with higher opponents. So here you go. He always believed in me, especially when I had hairline fracture. I told nobody except him and my other coach, my personal uncle. So they both kept secret for me so that I can continue to compete. Otherwise, if my real coach, the national coach, knew about it, I will be out from the team. But luckily, I won the competition. I became the first Malaysian who won the Asian Taekwondo Championships. He is the mental training consultant who helped me. So, Dr. Gagne, tell me about your life experience when you were mental training consultant in Malaysia. I knew that you were the mental training head department, the mental training head for the sports psychology department with the National Sports Institute in Malaysia. Would you mind telling me more about it, please?
Well, I came to Malaysia by accident in 1987.
Excellent.
I was at the time consultant with the Coaching Association of Canada on my way to Seoul, Korea. And it was my first trip in Asia.
Wow.
And I had a free air ticket by Air Canada. And at that time, Air Canada was flying Singapore. when I arrived in Singapore, I've never been to Asia, never seen so many Chinese in my life. I was really lost. But I met Malaysian years before that in England. So I gave a courtesy call. I had one phone number of one guy. And he said, where are you? I said, I'm in Singapore. He said, what are you doing? Why you don't come KL? I say, K what? I say, what is KL? He said, Kuala Lumpur. And I say, how far is it? He said, it's 45 minutes from Singapore. I said, but where is it? He said, it is just between Thailand and Singapore. Then I discovered there was a country called Malaysia. I had no clue. So then I flew to KL, and then I rented a car and I went around Malaysia. And I had a 1 month holiday before doing my mission of observation in Korea. And from that contact, they asked me, can you do a presentation to the National Olympic Committee, Secretary General of all the sports association? So I had one day, and I very funny, how come I bring with me transparency about the Canadian sports system? So I explained to them how we work in Canada and everything. Then after that, I went back to Korea, do my mission, went back to Canada. Then a few months after, we have a request at the Coaching Association. Malaysia was looking for somebody in sports psychology to come and help the athlete because Malaysia was hosting 89 SEA Games.
Yeah.
So I went to all the sports psychologists in Canada who would like to go Malaysia. At that time, nobody knew what was Malaysia, and of course, nobody wanted to go because for everybody, Malaysia is Southeast Asia. Malaysia was Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, you don't go to that part of the world. So I felt obligated to them. I asked my boss, nobody want to go, I'll go and do it. I spent 3 months in Malaysia in 1988 doing seminar and workshop for the coaches. And after that, I went back to Canada. The Malaysian coaches, they asked National Sport Council, why don't you bring back the Canadian guy to take care of our athlete for the SEA Games 1989? So 89, we got a request, and my boss said, you're going back to Malaysia. What do you mean? Malaysian government want you. So I went back in 1989 for SEA Games 89, and this was my first time working one mental trainer for the whole contingent of Malaysia, 500 athletes, including all the coaches and manager. So putting them into camp, mental training camp. Every day we have mental training session, imagery, visualization, all mental skill development. And of course in 1989, Malaysia for the first time won second placing in the SEA Games. The young Minister of Sport were very pleased. And after that he asked me, would you come back and stay to create sports psychology at the National Sport Council? So then 1990, in Canada, they say leave of absence again? No. If you want to go back to Malaysia, I say, okay, you're telling me my opportunity to resign. So I resigned my job at Coaching Association of Canada, at the time working with Olympic athletes in Canada, to go to Malaysia, where there was no champion, unknown country. But for me, if I don't do it, I will never know. And I'm so happy now. Since then, Malaysia got Olympic champion, world champion. Even I work with Nicole David, the 8-time world champion in squash. And now today, everybody in Canada say, how did you know? I didn't know, but deep inside me, a little bit like you said, I believe in you. When I went to Malaysia, I was asked by the minister at the time, our Malaysian material for world-class performance. So he sent me all over Malaysia in 1989. So I went to all the states, visiting school, looking at sport association, athletes in training. And I say, I've seen as many champions in Malaysia as we have in Canada. The only problem, nobody believe in them. School teachers don't believe they have an Olympic athlete potential. National Olympic Committee didn't believe. Many people were thinking, we Malaysian are smart people. We cannot beat the Negro, or we cannot beat the German or the Russian. I say, where did you get that? So a lot of opinion, no fact. And me, I remember in Penang, I was doing a workshop for kids. And I was talking to a young Indian athlete, a sick kid, you know, with the turban. And I asked him, what event are you doing? I said, javelin. I say, what is your dream? I do my best. I said, what do you mean? Do you dream to go to the Olympic? No, not me. Why? I'm too short. And I asked him, have you looked at yourself in a mirror lately? So I bring him, we were in a hotel and there were glass doors. I bring him with me. I say, look at the door. What do you see? You and me. Who's the tallest? He say, me. And he say, you're so short. I say, why now I'm short? You just told me a few minutes ago that you were short. I said, the problem, did you see yourself in the mirror before? He said, yes, every day. How big is your mirror? That size. And that's why for me, what is a mental trainer? What is a coach? First, we have to be a mirror. We must reflect the deep value, the deep belief that the athletes have. It's the Pygmalion effect. If I believe in you, even if you don't believe in you, at the end, You will believe in me more than you believe in you. And if I say you can, you can. And this is how 1989 the slogan Malaysia Boleh came. Malaysia can.
Malaysia
came
Boleh.
from there.
Yeah.
If I believe in you, you have to believe in you. I didn't come from Canada by accident. I came here, identify you, and yes, you can do it. And for nearly 30 years, Malaysia moved from nobody in the world to now a recognized country, an Olympic medalist country, Asian champion country, Southeast Asian champion, and everything. But it started from nothing in 1989. You needed a generation of athletes, a little bit like you were one. Let the kid believe in themselves and find a team of people to support them, believe in their dream, encourage them in their dream. Stop showing weakness of people. Show them the strength they have inside and the belief they have inside, and the dream will come. So me, I'm a strong believer in people. And normally I say, bring me the dreamer. These are the champions. If you don't have a dream, you cannot make it.
Bring me you the dreamer.
Yes.
I'm one of your dreamers.
Yes. And you're a success. You went to the Olympics. You become successful as a doctorate graduate. You became successful in your country and here. And there's many since then. Work with so many Olympic athletes now in Malaysia, so many world champions. 8-time world champion Nicole David in squash. When I met her, she was 11 years old. And everybody told me, don't waste your time on her, she's too short.
Oh, yeah. When I started Taekwondo, people, when I actually not only started Taekwondo, when I started to change my weight category from featherweight, slim tall, to heavyweight, which is the heaviest weight in the sports in Taekwondo category, and people said, "Oh, you're too short for that. You're too fat for that." So I learned that believing in yourself and believing in your goal is very important. I also believe that you always need to surround with people who believe in you. So Dr. Gagne is one of them.
And of course, there's a story of David and Goliath.
Yeah, David and Goliath. And in Bible, David and Goliath. You know that Goliath is a giant monster, but David so small, and he defeated the monster.
Just with a stone at the right place.
Just
Everybody
with a stone
got
at
a
the
weak
right
point.
time.
If you know the weaker point, you win the weakness of your opponent. Of course, don't show your weakness. Use your strength. But find the weakness of your opponent. That's a weak point. That's where you win. A lot of it, that's why it's psychological approach.
Yeah.
It's psychological warfare. You have to assess your opponent. You have to know yourself very well. And of course, if you are weak at somewhere, like when you had your injury at the leg, don't show your opponent. Don't tell nobody.
Yeah.
Only you know. But when you're in the action, your brain take over, and the will to win dominate the pain that your body have. Only after the pain come back, you become aware of the pain. The brain has a capacity to shut up some circuit, some information. But we must be clear in what we want. And of course, I spent years teaching athletes mental skills. And most of it is believing in yourself. Now everybody talk about 95% is subconscious. But that's where you win. It's your subconscious mind that wins. Not your conscious mind, but how to program the subconscious mind. And it happened in a low brain frequency. Now we know brain frequency, it's a theta brain frequency. Of course, you have to know how to perform in theta brain. And a lot of it comes from the relationship that I had with the athletes. My way of talking with you put you in that state. When I talk to you, you stop thinking. You start feeling, you start believing, you go back in your guts. That's why you win, it's in your guts. My job is to wake up the guts. And of course, put the emotion, the winning feeling. When do you start winning? When you get the medal, after the competition, before the competition, or during, you start winning months before, years before. You have to develop the winning feeling. So when you enter the arena, your place for fighting, you must express the winning. Your opponent will feel it. Why you look so confident? I don't feel confident. I'm winning. You win before it starts. And sometimes your opponent gives you the victory. Why? Because you look like a winner. You behave like a winner. And he has no choice. He's defeated before starting. But if you come as a defeated, I'll do my best. I don't know what doing my best means. Just do what you train. Nobody's asking you to do what you never trained. Just do what you do the best. What you have practiced and repeated so many times. So it's practice, repetition, practice, repetition. And that's the success stories. It's only those who believe in themselves and are not afraid to put the hours and the months and the year. Most of the athletes that I know spent 16 years to win a medal at the Olympic. Now Malaysia, they have one girl, Penalila Renong. She comes from Sarawak, small tribe.
Yeah, yeah.
Same thing. Everybody say she will never make it, but she started first Olympics. She got a bronze.
Yeah.
And now she's preparing for Tokyo. That has been postponed another year. If she's stopping training, because this is her last Olympics, 16 years, and it's going to be 17 years looking maybe for her first gold. She's a true believer, and she practices like a champion every day. And she think and talk and walk like a champion and dive like a champion. Can you imagine 16 years for an event that take 1 second? To dive, it's a 1 second exercise. And that's how you win. 16 years for 1 second?
Yep.
Most people will say, too long. Too long, 16 years. That's how many athletes win at the Olympics without realizing it. They took 16 years. I worked with a synchronized swimmer from Canada, starting preparing her for 1984. She didn't make it. 1988, didn't make it. 1988, didn't make it. 1982, your same game that you were in Barcelona,
yeah.
She won her gold, finally her gold medal. And the funny part, her boyfriend suicided himself 2 weeks before.
Oh no.
And you talk about emotional disturbance.
Yeah.
But me, when I talk with her, I say, come on, Sylvie, you spent how many years? 16 years. Your boyfriend decided to take away his life. Are you going to allow him to destroy 16 years of your life? And she put herself back together, focused on what she trained and practiced so many times, a perfect routine, one of her best performances in life, and gave her the gold medal in Barcelona. And this is the story of many champions. It's when everything gets tough, everything look finished, that's when the winner wins. Never give up attitude. Fight until the end. And go in trance. It's a trance. Most of the time, many athletes win, they don't even remember what they've done. It was totally unconscious. So the power of the subconscious mind, but how to program the subconscious mind, that's what mental training is all about. There is no shortcut. And it's in deep, low brain frequency, and it takes months and years of repetition. In Taekwondo, you have all your skill, your drills. How many times you practice the same drill and same skills?
Many times, like at least 10,000 hours.
And that's it.
Minimum.
It's the principle. The 10,000 hour now is becoming worldwide recognized.
Yeah,
Do it to
to
me
be an
10,000 times, then you can come talk to me.
Yeah.
Until you've done 10,000, you don't know what you're talking about. And that's what it's all about. It's mental toughness. It's the desire come from within. Most people want success quickly, shortcut. Why people take doping? They want a shortcut.
Yeah,
While
people take
cheat
doping. Yeah.
because they want a shortcut. The real athlete don't. Whatever the time it takes, it takes. That's it. And it's deep inside. And most of the time, you need to have the guts. Mm-hmm. Most people won't spend 16 years of their life. They don't have the guts to invest so much of their life for one moment of glory. Like that young diver in Malaysia, for 1 second of effort, 16 years of your life. Are you crazy? Do you have nothing else to do in life? That's my dream. That's what I want to do. I want to win the gold medal. Until now, Malaysia, for a regular athlete, never got a gold. The Paralympic athlete get gold, but the normal athlete are still silver and bronze. And she wants to be the first. And I believe in her because she behaved like a champion. She never gave up. Even this year after Tokyo, she could say, oh my God, they blew my Olympics. No, they just extended the delay. I have more time to practice.
Yeah, exactly. More
time to get better. And that's the attitude you need to have. Perseverance, resilience. Falling down once, stand up again. Fall twice, stand up again. Fall down four, stand up again. You have to believe in yourself deeply. The problem is many children, their parents don't believe in them. Their friends don't believe in them. Their siblings don't believe in them. Their coaches don't believe in them. Their association don't believe in them. So they have to go against the wind. And many athletes have to leave their own country to succeed. They cannot train in their country because nobody believes in them. But they go overseas and people train them overseas. Nicole David became world champion, not in Malaysia. She had to, at 19 years old, move to Amsterdam to work with her coach who was 5-time runner-up. She believed in Nicole David. Malaysian coaches, they say, too short. They have the facility, they have everything, but they don't have the attitude, they don't have the belief. You need to find someone that mirrors what's inside you. So it's like to be a coach, you have to see the invisible. And the invisible is not visible to the eyes. It's visible to the heart. And it's visible to the vibration, the emanation. We are people of light. We are not this body. I'm not this body. My body is full of molecules, 30 trillions of cells, energized electrically, statically. So it's all electromagnetic. So it's a feeling. As a mental trainer, I always charge myself before working with athletes. if I know myself before I meet the athlete, any feeling that is not mine belongs to the athlete. That's how I can feel that some athlete got it. And many athletes, I met them, I look at them in the eyes. I remember one girl in karate in Malaysia. I walked all the national team, and I was looking at all of them in the eyes. And then the coach asked me, what are you looking at? I'm looking for the eye of the tiger. He said, have you seen it? I say, yes, her. And she's now national coach for the karate kata team. And she won several medals for Malaysia at the Asian level and Southeast Asian level, and of course World Tech Karate. But where do I see it? In her eyes. And what does that mean, the eye of tiger? We know the Rocky the movie, the eye of the tiger music. But where does it come from? There are people who know these things. It's vibration. It's invisible to the eyes, but it can be perceived. And some people give you that energy. You see these kids, they are young. Nicole David, 11 years old. Who are you, Nicole David? What do you see yourself in 10 years, world champion? When she went to the court, I say, you world champion? I say, show me. She opened the door, she entered, she was working high shoulder, and she played and she won the match. And I say, can you explain to me what happened? Well, you say, show me the champion. So a champion at the time, the world champion, was Fitzgerald, her hero. And she said, when I entered, it was not Nicole David who entered, it was Fitzgerald, the world champion.
He's actually French-Canadian. We're actually now in Quebec. We're in Quebec, Canada. I chose to come to Canada because of his recommendation. At that time, he told me that, if you like sports psychology and mental training, consider working with Dr. Terry Olick at University of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And because of his advice and suggestion, I actually applied to University of Ottawa. Eventually, I got accepted. And by the way, I got accepted to work with Dr. Terry Olick, one of the best top 10 sports psychology in the world. So I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed, and really thankful Dr. Gagne for telling me that, for suggesting to me. So therefore, I would like to give this opportunity, or take this opportunity to say thank you so much. Because of that, I got the chance to learn from the best sports psychology in the world. I got the chance to obtain my degree in Canada. Yeah. So Dr. Gagne, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, and I was right. To be the best, you have to learn from the best.
Exactly, yeah. And to be the best, you have to learn from the best. So I learned from the best.
Yeah.
Not only you, but from Dr. Terry Olick.
Yes.
If you don't know who is Dr. Terry Olick, you can Google search. You will find him. He's the one of the best in the world. And Dr. Gagne, by the way, tell me, what is your best performance working as a sports psychology consultant or mental training consultant in Malaysia?
Well, I would say, if we look at individual people, there are some who come to my mind. And of course, I would say in 30 years, from a zero country in the world to an Olympic recognized country, so meaning there is a lot of success story. But those who come in my mind is first 1989, first game I was involved, SEA Game. For me, I thought it was the ocean game. I discovered that SEA Game is Southeast Asia. I didn't know that. And it was a young girl, 15 years old at the time, Heidi Faisno Miskin, a Muslim girl who won 5 gold medals in rhythmic
I remember
gymnastics.
that. She's so good. 5 gold medals. Yeah.
And because of her, since then, the rhythmic gymnastic is a very popular sport in Malaysia. And it went that far that in 1998 at the Commonwealth Games in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia won the team event in rhythmic gymnastic. And a lot of it was just before coming to the Commonwealth Games. I took the Malaysian girl in Toronto to train with the Canadian team in preparation for these games. And of course, the girl learned her lesson. To be the best, you have to learn from the best. And the Canada team was one of the favorites in rhythmic gymnastics. So I bring the girls from Malaysia here to raise their confidence and motivation, and to learn from the Canadian judges. If you want to perform well, you have to seduce the judge. Rhythmic gymnastics is a seduction sport. I work with years with the Canadian figure skating, so I know what it is. My job is to get from the judge their opinion about the athlete I work with, and then to pass the message to the coaches. Because coaches know how to prepare, but usually coaches hate the judges, because judges give points and the coaches always criticize the judge. Yes, no, your best friend must be the judge. He is the one who gives you the point. So you win the medal because of the judge, not because of your coach. So Malaysian girl, we did it. We came to Toronto. So we had 2 practice with Canadian judges coming, giving them feedback and analyzing, discussing with the girl, and recommending the girl what to do. Change of leotard, color of this, color of that, change the position when you turn in front of the jaws, show the other side, you're looking better. One of our girls was a little bit fat. They say if you turn like this, we see the fat going to your leotard.
Oh.
But if you use a different kind of leotard, change the color of your hair. We even put some of our girls, they're Chinese girls. Chinese girls don't like the sun, they don't like to be tan.
Oh.
But the judges are Westerner, and Westerner lack tan skin. And they told the Malaysian girl, you have to go to the sun, change the color of your skin with leotard, it will be more beautiful. And our Chinese girls went to even, how do you call it? Suntan parlor.
Yeah, parlor. Gym.
And in the end, first event at the Commonwealth Games in rhythmic gymnastics is the team event. And who ended up winning the team event? Malaysia. Of course, my Canadian friend, the Canadian coach, say, now I know why you bring your team to train with us before the Commonwealth Games. And I told her, it's magic road. To be the best, you have to learn from the best. We came and we learned from you, girl. We didn't win the gold. You teach us how to be better. That's it. And our girls, and since then, the beauty of it, 3 of the 4 girls who won the gold medal are now rhythmic gymnastic coach in Malaysia, and they have all created their own club. So they continue passing the legacy of what they have learned at the 1998 Commonwealth Games. I would say thanks to Canadians who show them that we believe in Malaysian before Malaysian believe in Malaysian. The other one is squash. Squash is a well-known sport in the US and Canada a little bit.
Yes, squash.
It's not an Olympic sport, but I met a young girl in 1992. She was 11 years old.
Nicole, is it Nicole David?
Nicole David.
Oh, she's the best squash player in the world. Like she won 8 times world champion.
Yeah.
She's 8-time world champion.
And for 10 years in a row, she was number 1 in the world. For 10 years,
10 years, number 1
nobody in the world could beat her. And of course, she played with girls taller than her, a bit like you when you say in your weight category.
Yeah.
All the people I fight are taller. But me with Nicole David, we came up, I say, when you score a point in squash, where's the ball? And even I ask this question to coaches, they cannot answer. Where's the ball when you score a point? The ball is dead on the floor. So when you play squash, what is your job? Kill the ball on the floor.
That's very good. Kill the ball in the floor, then you will win.
So it's a very narrow focus. You only focus on one thing. If I have to hit the ball, I have only one thing in mind. I have to kill that ball so that my opponent won't have a chance to touch it. That's how you score a point. And
Exactly.
I realized with Nicole David, everybody say you're too short. I say, when the ball is on the floor, who is the closest to the floor, the tall player or the short player?
The short one.
And I say, now you get the picture?
Yeah.
And for her, this was enough. Yes, I have an advantage if I play low. Tall girls have difficulty, they have to go down.
Yes.
And
Strategy.
And of course, after 10 years of winning all the time, the World Squash Federation changed the rule of the squash court.
Oh.
They raised the basic line, making it higher, easier for taller players. And she took 2 years to readjust to the new rule.
I see. Wow.
And sometimes I suspect did they change the rule because of her?
Oh,
She was unbeatable with the old rule.
yeah.
With the new rule, she had to adjust because the tall girl were better hitting above the line. And of course, this was one of it. So the rest, of course, is so many athletes in your sport. In Taekwondo, Malaysia did so well. Like one of your partners in 1992, she won a bronze medal.
Yeah.
A girl from Sarawak that nobody knows.
Yeah, she won bronze in 1992.
And she was, like you say, tall, skinny for her weight category.
Yes.
And naturally with her, we work on one thing, use the length of your limb.
Yeah.
Your strength is you have longer limb than the girl of your weight category. Use your limb. And I don't know if you remember, which method we use to practice you before going to Barcelona to increase your time reaction? Did you remember the method? We were training at Raja Muda Stadium.
I train there every day, actually. I train at the
Do you
stadium
remember what
gym.
we were doing behind the building? Me, I remember very well.
Reaction time?
Yes, how we were training you and her.
I try to remember. I know that we learned about reaction time, how to react fast.
We work with tennis ball.
Oh yeah, I remember how to avoid, how to dodge the tennis ball, right?
Yes.
Okay, I remember now. Yeah, I remember. You train us how to react fast, and you actually throw tennis ball to us, and we try to dodge it.
or push it.
Push it, yeah, exactly.
And we were two of us throwing ball at the same time. So you could not plan where the ball will go. We were throwing it everywhere.
Yeah.
And both of you, we practice you. I don't know how many thousands of balls have we thrown in your face to practice you for reaction time. Because when you're in the arena fighting, things happen very fast, very quick. So you don't think about how you're going to block a punch or anything. And that's why we use at the time tennis ball. So when I think about you, I remember the tennis ball practice.
Yeah, I remember now, yes.
And there's so many experience. I can share so many experience for all these years. I worked 30 years in Malaysia in sports psychology, mental training. Last one I work is Alia Young, who is a snowboard water skater, snowboarding. And of course, she's Asian champion. And same thing, I met her when she was 12 years old. What is your long time dream? I want to be world champion. For me, trigger, Nicole David say the same thing.
Yeah, you have to be with the best people you have to be with the best person, a supportive person, in order for you to be accepted. Otherwise, if you say your big dream to people that may not believe in you, and you may be pushed to negativity. You know, people will say, "Are you dreaming? Like this is impossible. You think too much. You're too ambitious." I always get these answers like, "Oh, you are too ambitious. You know, you are too ambitious.
Overconfident.
Overconfident. You're too arrogant. You're too cocky."
And this young girl, well, now she's one of the 10 best in the world.
Yeah.
And of course, she continued training even during coronavirus time, because on the water ski, you're on the water. And of course, she's good in slalom, but her best, she's in the trick, doing somersault, backflip, and everything. She was very, very good. And she's the sister of Alex Young, the first Formula One from Malaysia. Same thing, one of my success stories, Alex Young, nobody believed in him to become a Formula One. He came to me in 1997. He knew that I was working with Malaysian athlete, but motorsport is not sponsored by the National Sport Council.
Yep.
In principle, I was not allowed to work with him. But when he came to me, and I say, I know nothing about car racing. I had a sports car in Canada. The fastest I've been is 240 kilometers an hour. But Formula One go at 360. I say, I cannot help you. But I knew my friend Dr. Abrezal from Switzerland, who knew people in Europe doing Formula One. So I called him and I say, I have this young Malaysian, he dreamed to be a Formula One. What should I do? So finally I got the phone number of the Ferrari driving school, Michael Schumacher driving school in Florence, Italy. And finally I gave him the number. I didn't call. I gave him the number. Call them and tell them what you want. And they say, you think you can be a Formula One? Okay, we are ready to accept you, but you need that much money. So he went to his father, and his father mortgaged his house to send his son to go to a Formula One driving course, and then passing his first driving license Formula One, and he became the first Formula One driver. Now he runs his own school called Axel in Malaysia, and he teaches young Malaysians to be motor car racer. Wow. Even his son is now taking over him. His son is also a racer. I work with his son mental preparation. And it's interesting. I work with the father, I work with the son, and now I work with the younger sister who do water ski. And in the whole family, it's a family who believe in themselves, and the parent, the father believe in his children. And that's why it's a family of champion. And champion in different ways. Even Alex Young, Formula One driver, was also a water ski champion. His elder sister became a water ski champion. Now the younger sister wants to be world champion. And now she's already ranked among the 10 best at the age of 17. So another 2 or 3 years, and in my opinion, yes, she will be world champion in water ski. And right now, who is the world champion for the women? She's a Canadian from Ontario.
Wow.
And once a year, they go to Florida to practice with the Canadians. So, and this is my best success story in Malaysia. It's not because of the system. Of course, it's eternal summer. Always 28, 32 degree temperature. Food a little bit spicy. My son been born in Malaysia. He only likes spicy food. Now he cooked for me here in Malaysia.
Even
in
spicy?
Canada, spice.
Wow.
He has a taste bud of a Malaysian. He's a Canadian, but he's a taste bud of a Malaysian. So that's what
Next time
I
I'll cook Malaysian food here.
Yes, that's what I like about this country. It builds a fantastic ground, because many people, it's a feudalistic society with royalties and everything, and they still use the word riots. which is, let's
Right, yeah.
translate in English, the commoner, the peasant, the pleb, the worker, and the elite, which is seigneurial system, royalties, like in the feudalistic world, duke and counts and everything. Malaysia, they call it dato and tancheries and everything. So the peasant normally have no access to the elite. But sport is an open door. The best win. And the title don't give you the winning. It's you win the race. You wins the competition. That's why I love working in Malaysia. You work with the commoner who by basic education, social role, or even religion or culture or race should not be champion. But they became champion. So Indian became world champion. Chinese became champions. Badminton is run by the Chinese. That's why in Malaysia they say badminton is a Chinese sport. Why you say that? Because all the best players are Chinese. Not because the other can play, but there is now a saying that Chinese are better. Like for many years I saw in Canada, Montreal Canadien was the best. In my time in the 60s.
Yeah.
But now where are the best team in hockey? In the US with Canadian players. So, but it's all about belief. And you start somewhere. Like here, I work with Montreal kids. We had no champion until 1980. One of our figure skater, Gaëtan Boucher, won his first gold medal in Sarajevo Olympic game. After that, for his own club in Montreal, in a matter of 10 years, 8 of his friends, including him, won 25 medals at the Olympics.
Wow.
Same club, coming from one neighborhood, going to the same high school in Montreal. Everybody say, well, you're lucky, you only work with the best. I say, God is good to me. He put all the best in the same school. What can I do? And they are member of my club. But where it comes from, it's contagious. I'm a mirror. And show me a kid who dreams. And if I feel it, I will mirror, yes, let's start. And I make them realizing, are you ready to invest in 10 years of your life? Nicole David, I asked her, where do you see yourself in 10 years? She's 11. She said, in 10 years' time, I'll be world champion. And she became world champion at what age do you think? At the age of 21.
Wow.
How do they know? The subconscious mind. We are in connection.
Yes.
There is no space-time in the universe.
Yes, I totally believe that.
There is a moment present, and if you are in the present, kids, young children are in the present.
Yeah.
That's why you talk to them, they don't listen to you because they are in the present.
Yes, I totally believe that. I remember when I first told you, beside my uncle always believed whatever I believe in. So when I first told you that, I want to be the first Malaysian who win the Asian championships, right? Which means you have to beat the Korean. You know, Korean is the best.
It's a Korean sport.
It's a Korean sport. It's the best in the world. To be Asian champion, you're basically like a world champion. You have to beat the Korean to be the Asian champion. You have to beat the best in the world. So when I did not dare to tell anyone because it's unbelievable. People say, you're going to beat the Korean. No way. No Malaysian have ever best the Korean at the final. So when I told you and you believe in me, you say, yeah, you can do it. And I was so happy. And at that time, what I did was I put all the affirmation on the wall to remind me that I am Asian champion. Why I said that to me, or why I felt that? Because I really, as you said, I felt it. I felt it that I can be the Asian champion. Why? I watched the heavyweight competitors through video. I look at how they fought, and I look at them, and I look at myself. I told myself, I think I'm better than them. I feel it. I can feel it. I think I'm better than them with hard working, with smart training, with strategy. I think I can be the first ever Asian champion in Taekwondo. So I'm really glad that you actually believe in me, and I work towards my goal. So as you say, and when Nicole David told you when she was 11 years old that she wanted to be the world champion, I believe it. I believe it. And not many people believe it because people will think that, what? Like, who are you?
Yeah. In Malaysia, a lot of people think very negative.
Oh, yeah.
They say you're cocky, you're arrogant and everything. And they use it, not me. I didn't know the word overconfident before going to Malaysia. How can you be overconfident? You are just confident. Why do you say over? What do you mean by overconfident?
Over, yeah.
I never understand the term.
Over mean you have not met their target. If you say something over their expectation, then they will say you're overconfident.
because they want to set the target for you,
Yeah, exactly.
not allowing you. And I've experienced this in Canada before going to Malaysia. 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games. I worked with one French-Canadian weightlifter, Jacques Demers. In Los Angeles, he is ready to enter on the platform. And of course, in weightlifting, you have 3 lifts. First attempt, he had an argument with the coach. The coach was a foreigner from Poland, and the coach actually wanted to secure a new contract. So he wanted to play safe. So he wanted the weightlifter to start at a low weight. And they had an argument. He wanted to start higher. He wanted to go for gold. So result, what happened in the first lift, he lifted the bar, and he lifted so strong, the ball lifted his hand in the air. And then it turned back, and of course the judge gave it fault. He finished winning the silver medal. And until today, he still blamed the coach. Because of the coach, I lost the gold medal. I knew I was ready, I was strong, and he would have won. But he started too low, he lost his first attempt. Then the third attempt, he had to play safe, and the other lifter came up one lift after him, and he beat him by a few kilos. And the same thing, believing in the athlete, who performed the athlete, who should we trust in the moment of competition, in the final, we should trust the athlete.
Yeah.
But like you said, many people, officials, coaches, president, vice president, have expectation. And like you say, this is, if you go above their expectation, you become overconfident. Because if you fail, they blame you.
Yeah.
If you succeed, they praise themselves.
Yeah.
I told him. They always say, I told him. He won because I told him. Me, I say, no, it's not what we say. Like me, I never trained, I never competed for you. I just put a mirror in your face. That's what you say. And I reflect what you say. Because I believe in you, I believe in your vibration, in your energy and everything. I never claim, I'm always being a big shadow. In Malaysia, many people don't know me. When they realize I worked 25 years with 8-time world champion in squash, they say, how come we didn't know? Because I'm not there to promote myself. I put her on the podium, not me. In sport, who go on the podium? Only the athlete. In business, if a company make money, who go on the business? Who got the paycheck? The boss. But who does the work? The employee. They should be the one rewarded, not the top of the food chain. Malaysia being feudalistic, it's always the top of the food chain who get the title. I remember after games, Malaysia have a tendency after game, they give titles. Not to the athlete, to the team manager.
Yeah.
Who did nothing. But the team did very good performance. Who get the title, who get the reward? The team manager. But this is Malaysia. In Canada, at least, we reward the athlete, but we're not good in Canada to reward athlete. In Malaysia, a gold medal at the Olympic, it's 1 million ringgit.
Yeah, in Canada, we don't treat the athlete
in Canada,
well
a shake of hand and a tap in the back.
Yeah.
Because here you do it for yourself.
Yes.
In Malaysia, you do it for the country. So it's never for me. I do it for the country. Mindset, the values are totally different. But the Malaysians who have succeeded, many of them, I helped them to go overseas.
Yes.
The last group in squash I worked with was the Malaysian junior team, girl and boys. We won Asian championship. We won Commonwealth title in squash. Now all the squash player, none of them is in Malaysia. They all have scholarship in the US. And in Malaysia they pissed off why they left.
Yeah.
Would you refuse a $250,000 US scholarship at Stanford University to play squash in Malaysia for $1,000 a month? They pay your study from a top university, you will graduate with a career and everything, and the chance of going back is very little. Like you came to do your master degree. I know many people were not happy. Why she go there? She can do master degree in Malaysia. But you could have not learned from the best aerialic.
Yeah.
You had to go.
Yes, I'm really blessed. I learned from the best of the best. I learned from Dr. Terry Orlick, University of Ottawa. That was from 1993 to 1995. You know, after that, after I graduated in 1995, I went back to Malaysia and worked for the National Sports Institute. I worked for the National Sports Institute of Malaysia. And I actually also competed in 1995. So after spending 2 years in Canada, I went back to Malaysia. I competed at the national championship. I won. I became the national champion again after missing 2 years because I was in Canada for 2 years. So I went back and competed at the national and I won. So I went back and I won the national and I actually competed represented Malaysia for the last time at the SEA Games, Southeast Asia Games, and I won the gold. What touched me was that I was the only gold medal for Malaysia for Taekwondo team. Okay, for Taekwondo team in Malaysia, I was the only gold. And I was so surprised. I said, I have never been training with the team in Malaysia for 2 years. I came back, competed at the national right away, and I won. And I joined the national team again, and I won in Chiang Mai SEA Games. After the competition, the coaches came and talked to me, interviewed me. Like, they asked me if they have done a good job or what did they do wrong. How come I was the only one who won the gold?
So what you do with the right, you kept your mindset, your spirit of being an Olympian.
Yeah.
And that's what you bring back to Malaysia. They could not change this. You kept the spirit, your experience dominated. So the champion in you was alive. You just allow your champion to express itself.
Yes. And I really appreciate what I learned from Dr. Cherry. I apply what I learned from my master's degree, from my undergraduate studies in Canada. And that really helped me to perform, and that really helped me to achieve the gold medal. Hi, today I also would like to talk about parenting. I am really grateful that I have family that who support me, who have never said any negative things about my performance or how I look or how what is my weakness. They always believe in me. Even though maybe sometimes they don't believe in me, but they don't say it out. They always keep inside themselves, but always give me positive energy. Always say, okay, do whatever you like, do whatever you want to achieve. So today I would like to ask you about parenting and also about how you overcome your amputation. I just noticed that you got amputation while in Malaysia. I was so surprised. I felt so, in a way, so sad for you. I know that you overcame it really fast and you are really good on handling that. Would you mind sharing with us how you overcame your mental obstacles, maybe, if you have one? Yeah.
Well, I never really had one. It's
Good.
Very strange. It started with a blister, and a blister turned to gangrene, and gangrene attacked my toes, and it's a matter of 5 days, and already one of my toes was already black. So then I went to a specialist, and they say what to do. They tried medicine, antibiotic, nothing was working. So after a while, I say, okay, now it's affecting another toe. Then I made a decision, let's amputate the toe.
Wow.
But after amputating the toe, the gangrene was still going up my leg. And then I say, okay, what will be the end result? Is your medicine, your antibiotic working or not? And they say, we can continue for a few weeks. We will know. I say, are you sure? Guarantee or no guarantee? We don't know, we have to see. I say, I don't want this, it's too vague.
Oh, okay.
If there's a high probability that it will not stop, I want to stop that gangrene to go up my leg. So then I say, can we amputate? And he was shocked. He said, what, you want to amputate? I say, no, I want to eliminate that disease from my body. I want to prevent it to attack my leg, because I have another friend from Sweden. She got infected like this and she lost her leg. She was a golfer. Now she have an artificial limb and she still play golf. So lucky for me, I have friends who went through this. Another friend who has been paralyzed and he can walk now, even if doctors say he will never walk again. So based on their motivation, their mental strength, I say, my God, I made the decision, you amputate. Now I will have to learn to walk with a prosthesis. I still have my knee. And I realized I would be able to do mostly everything I used to do before. Because prosthesis now are very good and I still have my knee. So, but one thing is sure now, no more disease, no more infection. So everything is okay. Many people that I have friends who say, is it traumatized you? Do you dream about it? I say, no, but I feel my phantom limb, they call it.
Oh,
like
wow.
right now I move my toes. There is no leg, but I move my toes right now. Can you imagine?
Wow.
I feel my toes moving. So I can move my feet like this, my ankle. But there is no leg. But now I realize the nervous system keep a memory, a three-dimensional memory. So my big toe is here. Of course, that is nothing.
Wow.
And I'm not imagining it, I'm really feeling it. So it's a memory, an electromagnetic memory of that leg. So the foot is already still there in space. Physically, it has disappeared. But for the nervous system, the connection in the brain are still there. And of course, I want to go through this. And I know one young lady in China got the same thing. She got amputated. She was a belly dancer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You probably have seen a video on Facebook.
Yeah, I've seen her video.
And she continued dancing. 2 months after she wear the prosthesis, she continued dancing. She can run and everything. And I say we need more people who prove to people the handicap is in the head. It's not in the body. We are not this body. You have not amputated me. You have cut one limb. So
positive, yeah. So positive.
I live in this body. I am an energy in this body. I don't want to use the word I'm a soul. I am an energy. And this energy, I am bigger than this body. I'm 30 billion cell, trillion cell, all electrically charged. Now I've removed some of them, but the rest is the same. It's me. So this doesn't affect me. I continue. I'm working. I'm preparing for my next year series of clinic and courses and workshop. I'm working and developing all my material to online teaching and everything. So for me, it doesn't change my life. The only thing it changed, my son is helping me with the wheelchair. And of course, I learned to go back when I was 2 years old. I walk on my butt. When I get out of the chair, to climb stairs, I walk on my butt. But my memory, remember, I was a baby. I did this for months and years. So now at my age, I just have to go back to my memory. My brain remember when I was a baby walking on my butt on the floor.
Wow.
So I can go back to this. So what's so traumatic of not having it?
You're so positive. You're so positive. I'm sure you are a living example. I'm sure your life experience, your mental strength can help many, many people.
That's what my friend who are handicapped, they say, what you're doing, I will post it. Because my friend will say, Michel, we're happy you talk about it. Because so many soldiers come back from war and get amputated and everything, and they get depressed. And mostly they get depressed because of their environment. The doctor, the nurses, the physiotherapists make them feel like handicapped. And me, they say you should go to physio. I've been involved in sport 50 years. Do you think I need a physio to give me exercise to do for my leg? And I know how to train one leg, so I do my squat by myself. I don't need to go to a physiotherapy center to do that. I can do it by myself. I was a track and field coach. And
wow,
I train,
you were track and field coach
I train jumpers. So I know how to work on a jumping leg. So now I leap on one leg. When I get amputated, I could not stand up sitting on the floor. Now I can stand up. I have to reinforce my muscle. And I don't need expert for telling me this. And I think we need more people who come back, like you say positive. I would say, no, seeing life doesn't stop because you lost one limb. You just have to readjust to your new environment, your new body. That's it. And now my friend who is already paraplegic, he told me, now you will be a bionic man soon when I will have my
bionic
limb.
Man.
And I've already seen some limb that I have, and I will choose which one will be. And here in Canada, they do custom made. So they will do biomechanical analysis of my walking activity. They will compare with my other leg, and they will make a custom made adjustment leg to replace. And this should happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Before the end of August, I should go for the testing, and hopefully I can go back to Malaysia on 2 legs, no wheelchair.
I'm sure you could, because you achieve what you want to achieve. Tell us about your plan. What is your plan at the moment and in the future, and what do you do to help other people to achieve their dreams and also to overcome the obstacles?
Well, I'm well known and I work with these athletes. I help athletes right now to go public. Like Nicole David now, she do advertising, and she talk about her psychological preparation. She even mentioned my name in some of her interviews.
Yes,
I work with Josiah as a cyclist. Maybe you remember Josiah. He's a Korean.
Yes.
Well, I work with Josiah. I helped him in his coaching when he decided to retire. He was living in Australia for a while. Then he came back to Malaysia.
Okay.
So I spent 1 year with him to say, okay, now what you're going to do? You're a cyclist. Never went to university or nothing. What are you going to do?
Okay.
But you have a cyclist experience.
Yes.
So now he's coaching the Sarawak team against Sarawak, because Peninsular, they don't want a guy from Sarawak. He's from Kuching.
Oh.
So now he's the Kuching coach.
Okay.
And he is having his own business. He runs his own cycling gym. So he trains people, because cycling is growing in Malaysia. So more and more people are doing cycling. So he is moving into his business, and he become a public speaker. I help him doing preparation for public speaking, and he's doing it.
That's great.
So that's what I'm doing with the athlete. I will continue. And all my years, I work as a consultant for 15 years for the International Association of Amateur Federation, track and field. For 15 years, I trained coaches in the Caribbean islands, coaches in the Philippines, coaches in China, coaches in Africa, coaches in the Middle East. So I am known in 150 countries in track and field. So I want to turn my mental training program in Malaysia that was limited to a small number of athletes. You were lucky you were part of the selective athlete to have access to me. Most of Malaysian athletes never have access to me.
Exactly.
So now through online I can give my services to everyone. So this is my next target for the next few years, to pass on a legacy to all the others.
Yeah, you are so well known in many countries. That is good that you're actually doing good things and transfer your knowledge and experience to new members and all over the world.
Yes.
That's really, really good. It's really
mental
blessed.
skills should not be restricted to an elite. Everybody,
I like that. Mental skills should not be restricted to elite. Everybody should have access to it.
And everybody can set their own life target, their own challenges.
Right.
But they have to be mentally strong. And mostly if they come from an environment of poor mentality, lower class mentality, inferiority mentality. Unfortunately, many of us inherit the culture of our ancestors, our family. And people come from remote villages and everything have a tendency to think low of themselves. But if we can help them to raise their confidence, their value, by believing in them, then they can eventually become champion like you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. And would you be possible to tell us what is your organization or what is your, you have a website?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm the CEO of Coaching and Training Asia, which a private limited company in Malaysia. I do mostly training for the corporate world. I train managers. So I've always complained my boss is a bad boss. Should I continue criticizing my boss? Me, I develop an attitude. It is my duty to make my boss the better boss I ever had. So that's what I do now in company. I train employee and I train manager how to be a better boss. Instead of having employee talking against you in your back, you should work to get sure that you know from them how you can be a better boss for them, to help them growing to become better. So I help promoting people, young people who would like to be promoted. So I help them promoting. A promotion is like a competition. It's very stressful going to the interview and everything.
Exactly.
So I help young employee. I work right now with a lot of young entrepreneur association. So young entrepreneur, many people right now, there's no job. Millions of people have lost their job because of coronavirus. So now there is a high demand of people of starting their own business. Self-employed entrepreneur. So I'm working on a lot of things. So it's very similar like athlete. It's very individualistic, sometimes egoistic. You have to be convinced that you want to succeed doing this. So I help them raising the mental attitude, the mental strength to go through their difficulty, their challenges.
Yes, for more information about Dr. Gagne's organization and program, I'll list them. I'll list them down below this video. Make sure you check it out. I also put it on the screen here. Hopefully you can see it.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. I really hope you learned something or even one thing from this interview or this discussion. Let me know if you have any question, and do leave us a comment which topic you like the best, which story you like the best, or do you believe in yourself, or do you believe in your goal? That's it for today. Do you have any questions for them? No,
I would say thank you very much, and at least you have somebody who speaks not by knowledge but by experience. She went through the difficulty herself. She survived. She defeated the people who are not believers. She proved to herself. She sacrificed her family, her country to come to Canada to become who she became. And it's the price. Me, I left Quebec to go to Malaysia, or the other end of the world, never been to Asia before. And I left a very good employment here, consultant with Olympic athlete, to go to a country called Malaysia where there was nothing. Everybody was telling me, are you crazy? You're going there. It's nothing. But I'm happy 30 years after, everybody say, how did you know they would become like this? I had a feeling, a gut feeling. I felt good in Malaysia. I felt, and I liking talking like with Sarah. So many young Malaysians were like her, dreaming of success. But nobody believed in them. So the foreigner from Canada came there and put a mirror and believed in them. And the rest became success. And success breeds success. So now I can move to the next level of my life. Now maybe giving chance to people outside of Malaysia, benefiting from my knowledge and expertise and sharing with them. Thank you so much. Good job, Sarah. I hope you all benefit from our conversation. See you next time. Bye. Bye-bye.